Thank you very much, Alex. Now, his boat was called Impossible Dream. Given the circumstances, his ambitions could easily have been just that.
By the age of 18, Geoff Holt had sailed thousands of miles at sea, but his promising career was cut short when he was paralysed in an accident on the British Virgin Islands.
Now, 25 years later, Geoff has become the first paraplegic to sail solo across the Atlantic. He set off from Lanzarote and he arrived on the very same beach where he lost the use of his arms and legs 25 years previously.
Just flown back to Britain and we're delighted he's here with us now. Geoff, good morning.
Good morning to you both.
Congratulations.
Hello. Thank you very much.
You are literally just sort of fresh off the plane, are you, more or less?
Yeah, yesterday morning. It's a bit chillier back in England than it is in the Caribbean.
What an achievement. So you set off from Lanzarote.
Yes, on the 10th of December. We then had all sorts of problems with fuel and generators and lack of wind, which is something you not normally experience in the Atlantic. And I arrived in the Virgin Islands just over a week ago.
And what made you do it?
It made me, I did it for a number of reasons. One, before my accident 25 years ago, I was a professional yachtsman and I'd sailed the Atlantic Ocean 3 times. And so I wanted to go back and do it again. But also, it's 25 years since my accident and I wanted to celebrate it in some way. It might seem odd, but I wanted to celebrate it by sailing back to where this all began, to a beautiful beach called Cane Garden Bay in the wonderful Virgin Islands, and sort of celebrate my last 25 years. Were it not for the accident, I would not have met my wife, Elaine. We wouldn't have had our son, Timothy, and I wouldn't have done all these amazing things. So I wouldn't change a thing.
Well, I was just going to say, do you think your life has been more fulfilling being a quadriplegic?
In many ways, I believe it has. We never know what paths our lives are going to lead us down. I had a tragic accident. I was 18 years old. I lost the use of my arms and my legs, and I thought I'd lost my career. I thought I'd never sail again. It was like a bereavement to me, really. But I started sailing again a few years later. I helped set up a charity which is now called Sailability and helps many thousands of people sail a year. And I just love sailing. And 2 years ago, I became the first quadriplegic to sail around Great Britain. And I thought, what next? So it was the Atlantic Ocean for me.
And what was it like going back to the
everything
beach?
I remembered it being. It was just magical. It's this feeling of being, it's a wilderness out there. It's 2,000 miles, 3,000 miles to cross. There's, you see all the whales, the dolphins, the fish. It's absolutely magical.
And you're alone.
You're alone. I should qualify that. I had a care assistant with me looking after me, but you really are alone. And there's this feeling of insignificance as a human being, stuck there in the middle of an ocean. It's quite overpowering, really.
What did you find the main challenge to be?
Do you know, the main challenge to me was, I thought it was going to be the sailing, but it wasn't. It was about my disability. For 25 years, I've just got on with my life. My environment is accessible, my home is accessible, and we've just got on with it. But on a boat, the focus was on my disability, and it was magnified. And for the first time in 25 years, I think I actually felt disabled. Being lifted in and out of my wheelchair, getting washed and dressed, all those sorts of things on a big ocean are very challenging indeed.
Did you have any iffy moments?
Iffy, I guess the only iffy moments were when the wind did blow occasionally and the boat was rocking quite a lot. I was trying to hold on to dear life, and I didn't want to fall out of my wheelchair. So no, it was just a very special thing to do, and I'm very honoured and flattered to have had the opportunity to do that.
We remember speaking to you 2 years ago when you did the round Britain trip. You are such an optimistic person, and it must be that positivity as well that helps you achieve goals.
Do you know, it's more than that. It's when I get back from this sailing trip and turn on my computer, and last night I had 1,800 emails from people, most of them I don't know, saying that I've touched their lives. And I don't know how I'm going to try and reply to them all, but somehow what I do seems to touch people's lives, not just disabled people, but other people with challenges in their lives. And you only need to scratch the surface, and we all seem to have certain difficulties in our lives. And whatever I do in life, somehow, whether it's through the website or through the blogs and things I do, people are being inspired by it.
And because you had the accident, and as you said to us at the beginning, you know, in a way, it's taught you a lot about yourself and introduced you to people who you wouldn't ordinarily have been introduced to, and that's changed your life in a positive way.
I've had an amazing life, and like, I wouldn't change a thing. I wouldn't wish being disabled on anybody, but you know, life gives you lemons, you make lemonade, and I've been making a lot of lemonade recently, and pina coladas.
That's a brilliant
That's
way of putting it. Thank you very much indeed, Geoff, and
A
congratulations.
pleasure to meet you. Thank you
both.
very much for
Thank
coming
you.
in.
Now, coming up shortly, one of the stars of John Sullivan's prequel to Only Fools and Horses will be here.
It's Kelly Bright, who plays Dylan Rodney's mum, Joan Trotter, and very glamorous she is
She
too.
is.
First, here's a last quick look at what's happening wherever you are.
Very good morning, I'm Asad Ahmed. Now, we're just getting reports in from Thames Valley Police that a young woman has been found murdered on a riverside footpath in Reading. We'll bring you more information later on in the day as we get it, or you can tune into our regular news bulletins on our radio station BBC London 94.9. Now, after the recent freezing weather, London's roads have an estimate